Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a twin flame energy updates for the Twin Flame Collective. So this is a general collective reading for twin flames who will feel drawn to this video and who will find resonance with some of the messages here. Now, with that being said, always be sure to use your own intuition when it comes to these messages and really, of course, everything in your life, because it's truly your intuition that is the compass of your soul that is leading the way through your life. Now, with that being said, if you would like me to channel specific messages for you and your current situation or connection with your person, be sure to like this video and also double check that you are subscribed, because by liking and subscribing, you are virtually transmitting your energy to me, and I'm actually able to pick up on that energy more easily, which then allows me to channel more specifically both now and in the future. Strategy in the reverse position. So right away, as I was beginning this reading, I heard that someone is feeling a lot of heaviness around the heart center. And right away, the strategy in the reverse position card came out here. So I do want to start by channeling a few messages from the guidebook here. So this card resembles making a plan, and in the reverse position, it can indicate feeling as though there is a stall in progress, having a goal in mind, but no specific ideas about how to achieve it. Now, I'm hearing that this kind of energy could apply differently for different individuals, but very strong, specific manifestations of this energy that I'm picking up on right now are that there are many divine masculines, or what we think of as the physical divine masculine. And I like to make that clarification because, technically speaking, we all have a balance of inner masculine and feminine energies. It's just that within twin flame connection, we experience polarity in this physical world because we are connecting with someone who represents the opposite polarity in the physical. So very often we find ourselves either dominantly carrying divine feminine energy or divine masculine energy. So do keep in mind that these words, masculine, feminine, even when I say he or she, his or her, this is all just a shorthand way to describe what is truly just an energy dynamic. So take it as it connects with you, and very often as well, these messages for the masculine or feminine may equally apply to your inner masculine or inner feminine energies. And as twin flames, we discover along the journey that over the course of time, very often our inner masculine and inner feminine tend to become more balanced, more integrated. And as a result of this, you may find yourself actually more tuned in, more attuned to your inner masculine and inner feminine, regardless of which label you may use to identify yourself. Now, going back to this strategy in the reverse position card, and again, I said this card would apply differently for different people, but a strong few different energies I'm feeling from this card for certain individuals who will feel drawn to this reading is that specifically there are some divine masculines here who have this very strong feeling of orientation toward the divine feminine through the conscious mind, regardless of whether their physical divine feminine counterpart realizes this or not. It's this feeling of, I know that I want you, and I know that I want this future with you. And yet there is this feeling of heart heaviness, going back to that kind of heavy hearts imagery I got at the beginning of this channeling. I feel that this masculine has a heavy heart because he knows that he exclusively desires the divine feminine and this future together. However, there is this feeling of having absolutely no idea how to bridge this situation from where things are in the moments to this kind of end goal. It feels very dreamy. It has a very surreal kind of dreamy energy because it feels almost impossible to bridge that gap, to bridge that distance again from where he perceives this situation with the divine feminine to be in the moments and where he strongly desires to be. So I feel that another message, because I said there were a few dominant energies coming from this strategy reverse card, and another dominant energy is that there are many divine feminines who are actually feeling this energy in regards to their inner divine masculine, because as always there is this mirroring effects, right? Whenever we see something in our external masculine or feminine, very often we can equally see how those energies are playing out within ourselves and within the balancing of our inner masculine and inner feminine. So for these physical divine feminines connecting with this card, it's like you are working on strengthening your inner masculine. And in fact, for many of these feminines, there is a feeling of really shifting your focus, your conscious attention, or attempting to shift your focus away from the physically manifested situation with your twin flame divine masculine counterparts, and to return that focus and energy to yourself, specifically to really beginning to create what we traditionally think of as strong masculine energy around your goals and dreams. So this can look many different ways, but for many divine feminines, this looks like beginning to simply make time for yourself, to carve out time and space for your goals, your dreams, your passions, to release those wounded feminine patterns of self-sacrifice and to really step into a place of total self-empowerment and to stand in the kind of confidence that stems from that inner empowerment. So for many divine feminines, and I'm hearing that for some feminines, there's this feeling of, yes, I still am very strongly aware of my divine masculine. How could I not be? But at the same time, there is this beautiful shift of focus from the external manifested situation with the masculine that at times could have caused her frustration, confusion, or even emotional pain. And there is this return of focus back within the self. And really, I'm hearing the spirit guided message of divine feminine. You were always meant to be not giving away your focus, your beautiful, powerful energy. And some of you, I'm realizing, or really I'm picking up on, that you do not realize just how powerful your energy is and how much you may have been diffusing it in the past because perhaps you thought it was your role or your job to give so many other people or things your energy outside of yourself. But you are releasing those patterns in a powerful way. There's some message coming out over and over of divine feminine, you are really becoming self-empowered and truly magnetic because you are learning how to return your focus and energy back within yourself rather than diffusing it outward. And what this is doing, this creation of structure in your life around things that bring you joy and fulfillment. And what I mean by that is very often divine feminines or feminines in general tend to look externally for an external masculine to give them some sort of conscious or unconscious permission to truly pursue their dreams, to live their passions, to believe in themselves, to feel confident in themselves or their voice. And we collectively as divine feminines are breaking free of this pattern of needing this kind of external masculine to be the bridge to our own self-empowerment or self-confidence, this kind of proxy to fully showing up for and supporting ourselves. Because in the past, with the Temple Path card reversed, what I'm really getting for you, Divine Feminine, is that this whole dynamic I'm channeling here, this feeling of being incapable to fully give yourself permission. It's like there's something literal here about giving yourself permission to take the time to nurture yourself, to care for yourself, to pursue your goals, your dreams, or invest in yourself or your hobbies or passions or whatever that might be for you. There is this beautiful feeling of beginning to learn how to support yourself in real, tangible, and material ways within your daily life, even if that's seemingly small actions like taking 20 minutes for yourself in the morning to meditate or clear your mind, or whether that's more literal in terms of financially investing in some kind of business endeavor that involves doing something you're passionate about. Whatever this kind of masculine structure you're creating in your life, Divine Feminine, looks like for you, know that what this is doing is really realigning you with your temple path. And by the way, the numbers 12 and the number 21 cards both came out. So you might be seeing a lot of 2s and 1s in different combinations, but specifically the numbers 12 and 21. And this Temple Path card is carrying a really strong throat chakra energy. So I'm feeling that the main sign, Divine Feminine, you are receiving of your increased balancing of your inner masculine and feminine and your increased integration and resulting energetic stability. The greatest sign these shifts are happening for you is the fact that you are beginning to consciously feel your voice activating, feel the manifested effects of your throat chakra going through this activation. Now, what I'm really getting with this activation, and specifically the signs to look out for if you are resonating as a Divine Feminine with these specific messages, really look out for the ways in which you will feel your intuition speaking to you in a stronger or clearer way. So, of course, this will be really individual, but this throat chakra activation not only has to do with literally feeling your voice getting stronger. Some of you may feel as though your vocal cords are getting stronger, your voice tone sounds stronger, you feel more confident speaking your truth or sharing your authenticity with others. But also, this throat chakra activation may show up in the way in which you feel more connected more regularly with your own inner voice. You might feel more capable of being able to access that inner guidance. I'm hearing that some of you may be able to channel this guidance through writing. For some of you, you might receive this guidance through meditation, through visuals or imagery. For some, this looks like I see someone literally envisioning these flashes of their dream life or successes or accomplishments happening for them in the future, and their ego mind might step in and wonder, Am I just crazy? Or they might literally hear their own voice in their mind, kind of reassuring them or telling them something or sending them some kind of message. And there may be this questioning, doubting part of you, Divine Feminine, that wonders, am I just going crazy? Am I imagining this? But what you need to know is these flashes of beautiful visions for your future and those times when you feel as though there is this voice within you guiding you or reassuring you or confirming something to you. This actually is, again, another sign of your throat chakra activating, which is for you at this time one of the greatest symptoms of this beautiful, powerful rebalancing taking place within your inner masculine and feminine, resulting in this kind of recalibration of your being is what I'm getting. So I now want to speak to the Divine Masculine, but I know we spoke a lot to a Divine Feminine there who is on this really powerful, beautiful journey of spiritual growth, evolution, and transformation. So if that is for you, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know if the message reached you. Also, in the extended version of this reading on Patreon, I will be channeling more higher self messages for the Divine Feminine, resonating with those previous messages. So the extended will include messages of guidance from your higher self, your spirit guides, the universe, the divine, really whatever divine forces you personally connect with. So now let's turn to the Divine Masculine. So the first card to come out for the masculine is the first chakra card in the upright position. And I actually felt this card around the heart, interestingly enough, for this masculine. I say this is interesting because the root chakra is actually the first chakra and the heart center is the fourth chakra. But the reason I'm feeling this around the heart is because this root chakra card also speaks to foundations, beginnings, stability. And I see this masculine almost saying like, I'm feeling myself back at the beginning, but specifically when it comes to the love he feels, even now more consciously for the feminine because of his ongoing spiritual awakening and reconnection with his own emotional experience through this awakening and reconnection with his inner divine feminine as well. I feel this masculine almost being transported here, almost being taken back in time, thinking back on, for some I'm literally hearing, if you have interacted with your masculine in the physical and you are in some period of 3D separation, and I'm getting kind of tongue-tied, indicating this masculine may also be wanting to speak to you or to deepen or open your communication in the 3D, but is feeling this kind of heaviness around the throat center, this kind of feeling of being tongue-tied, fear of not saying the right things or saying something he's going to regret. Specifically, there is a masculine here who is afraid that if he begins to speak to you or deepens the communication, too many words are going to just tumble out at once. And specifically, there is a masculine here who could be dealing with or still caught up in some kind of third party or karmic situation. There could be some kind of external interference, whether this is a person, a relationship, or more generally a karmic pattern or cycle. It's like this masculine is feeling really conflicted because he knows that he's still trapped, caught in this karmic situation. And again, this won't be for everyone, so only take this if it resonates with you. I feel I'm speaking to literally just a few people here. But if this message is for you, I feel this masculine saying it's like, I want to open our communication. I want to deepen our communication, Divine Feminine, because quite simply, I miss you. I'm thinking about the beginning. I'm thinking about when we met, and I'm longing to reconnect. And really, there's this feeling of wanting to reignite that first spark, because whoever I'm speaking to here, I feel that in the beginning between this masculine and feminine, there was this intensely strong and very visibly mutual pull between the two of them. And again, I feel I'm speaking to this like small group of our collective here, but your energy is just so powerful. It's bringing out a lot of specific messages. So if this isn't connecting, I promise I will be channeling a bit more generally here in a few minutes, but this message needs to make its way out. So this masculine who is still caught up in some kind of karmic interference or cycle or pattern that wants to come forward, but is feeling tongue-tied because he's literally afraid that if he begins, like I hear him saying, if I open the conversation or if I broach that particular topic that I want to discuss or open up about, I'm afraid that I will not be able to stop myself from saying too much, from taking things too far in the sense of saying too many things that I'm going to somehow regret or that is somehow going to mess things up. And also for some masculines, this is a feeling of not wanting their words to be empty. It's like, I want to tell you about this future that I can't stop thinking about with you. I feel this masculine living both in the past with you, Divine Feminine, and within the future with you, but trying to escape a lot of elements and aspects of a present 3D reality that he is largely unhappy with. There is this feeling of, you are my escape, Divine Feminine, specifically from this masculine. By the way, I'm picking up on a masculine who likes to hit the gym or is very physically active in some way. That's probably just for one person. But really what I'm getting from this card is this feeling of, it's this feeling of I'm being taken back to the beginning in my heart space, because again, it's this first chakra now sitting on the heart. And also, as we said with the strategy card reversed, I'm living in the future. I'm thinking about this life I want with you, but in many ways it feels like an impossible dream because of these karmic pattern cycles or situations that at times still seem to be entangling me or entangling us in the present moment. So there is that element of escapism here for this masculine, this feeling of, I'm daydreaming about the past and I'm daydreaming about this impossible future, but it's difficult for me to feel present and focused in my now reality when it feels so unfulfilling from my new vantage points of being more spiritually awakened and aware. So take that as it resonates with you, because I know that is going to connect differently with different people. Door to Romance reversed, and the second this card came out, I heard a masculine saying just, there's no one else, and then a period after that. It's a full sentence here, and I feel this could have been a response, or I could be channeling this because there might be a Divine Feminine here who still has doubts or concerns over where her masculine's heart truly lies. But specifically, there's something here about throat chakra energy with this Door to Romance reversed. So I feel as though there could be a feminine who either saw or sensed that her masculine was talking to other feminines in the 3D, or there could have been the fear that he is communicating or was communicating with other feminines. But what I'm getting from this card is a very strong message of, literally, regardless of what has happened in the past or what is going on in the present with me in the 3D, I feel this masculine saying, I don't want to be with anyone else. Even if this masculine has spoken to or is talking to other feminines in his life, I see him just completely emotionally distracted and shut down. It's like his heart is closed off in these conversations. His heart isn't in it anymore. And that's specifically what I'm getting if you do have a masculine who is caught in some kind of third-party karmic situation or something along those lines. The energy I'm getting here is, my heart isn't in it anymore. Or more generally, this could apply to, again, this masculine's present reality and the lack of fulfillment that many masculines I'm channeling here are feeling about these circumstances of their present relationships or environments or work, and this feeling of desire to shift, to change. It's like more than desire, it's an intense longing for change, but an uncertainty about how to create that change. And again, as the divine feminine physical counterpart, you could feel this energetic shift within yourself at times. Perhaps at times there are circumstances or things in your life that you have really begun to vibrate out of, in the sense that you've become so spiritually awakened. Your eyes have been so opened. Your energy is in such a higher place that these situations or connections, relationships, jobs no longer feel aligned with you, and you're getting a more strong vision of what you want the future of your life to look like. But at times it might feel like that's impossible dream, just as you physically are the impossible dream, so to speak, for your divine masculine counterpart. So again, you might feel that mirroring effect taking place for you at this time. Wow, intense messages coming through this reading. In the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more specifics about what this masculine is predominantly thinking about in the 3D at this time, because as I said, I felt that he wasn't very present in the moment. He was really in his head thinking a lot about the past, daydreaming or visioning a lot about the future. And so I will be channeling in the extended specifically what this masculine could be thinking about, dwelling on in these moments where he is very much not present with himself, and also what he is desiring and longing for in these moments as well. And with woman holding a coin reversed, wow, very interesting. I guess this might be a slight preview to those extended messages, because I feel this card saying it's not the karmic, it's not this, it's not this. And again, karmic isn't necessarily a person or a relationship. A karmic for the masculine can be any form of pattern or cycle or negative belief system, circumstances in his life that are creating interference within himself energetically that is blocking him from fully reconnecting with his true authentic self, and then that self disconnection through these so-called karmic patterns is manifesting as disconnect, what we sometimes call 3D separation between himself and his external divine feminine as well. But this card, woman holding a coin reversed, especially I feel will apply to many of you who might be in a situation where the masculine has or is connecting with some kind of karmic feminine situation. And I see this masculine very bluntly saying, this is not what he wants. This is not where his heart and soul lies. So again, we will be getting into more specifics about what this masculine truly is thinking and longing for in the extended version of this reading, which is in the pinned comment and description box. So now I'm going to be channeling some messages from both the divine masculine and divine feminine to one another. So how is the divine feminine feeling about the divine masculine at this time? And of course, once again, strategy in the reversed position. And it's funny because I said earlier this card applied to the masculine. I think this was the first card I actually pulled in this reading, if I remember correctly. And I said that a masculine felt like the divine feminine was this kind of ideal for him, this impossible dream that, in spite of it feeling so far out of his reach, he can't stop thinking about it or longing for it. And I almost feel the divine feminine responding to this mirrored energy here and saying, you are what I want to, but with contract in the upright position, I perceive that there is this continuation of karmic energies or patterns or cycles. And what I'm really picking up on from this divine feminine is with this contract card really sitting on the throat chakra here. It's like going back to how the divine feminine throat chakra has been so profoundly activated, especially in recent weeks, months, and the last year for the collective especially. Although, of course, you as a divine feminine may have felt these shifts at different points in time, just depending on how your particular energy body transmuted and continues to transmute them. But anyway, there is this feeling of lack of tolerance from this feminine for anything less than the truth. And when I say truth, I don't just mean literal honesty with communication or openness with one's words, transparency. I mean authenticity, transparency of being. It's like I feel this divine feminine saying, divine masculine, when you show up in my physical reality, or if you already are connecting, as you continue to connect with me, I will not be capable of settling for less than openness, honesty, and total transparency. And the reason for this is because, once again, that throat chakra activation doesn't just impact your outer voice, the way that you are capable of expressing yourself to other people more confidently, but also your reconnection with your inner voice, with your intuition. And specifically, I'm picking up on a divine feminine here who possibly could have ignored her intuition. And once again, the 6th chakra card in the upright position. I'm laughing because this is the 3rd eye chakra, which connects with the intuition, which is so synchronistic. But there's been this opening of both the throat chakra and the 3rd eye, leading to this profound ability to see clearly, not just with the physical eyes, but with this spiritual 3rd eye, to really have clear sight when it comes to people, connections, situations, and to be so connected. This divine feminine has been so profoundly reconnected with her own inner voice, her intuition, that she can't ignore it. I'm hearing specifically, like, divine feminine, you may have a profound and, I want to say, newfound ability, because it might be for some, but for others, this could simply be a strengthening of a pre-existing ability to really tell when someone is lying or being inauthentic. And I know that sounds so kind of blunt to say, but I do feel that for the specific person I am sharing this message with, it's like another way you know that your throat chakra has really activated and your 3rd eye is open, is you have begun to really hear people's words for the energy they carry and not for the words themselves. And you walk around with an open heart and a kind of love that creates this magnetism around you. And you need to know that, because it's that magnetic love frequency that truly makes you so energetically attractive, but also causes you to have this radiance that can be unconsciously perceived by others, even in a visible way. Someone just needed to be reminded of that. But anyway, there is also this message here of, you are really beginning to be able to see people for energy and to hear people for the energy their words carry, and to not so much hear the words themselves, which I know sounds like such a strange message. But when it comes to your masculine, I am picking up on a divine feminine who in the past may have tried to ignore, deny, or self-disconnect from her own intuition. And this, for this particular divine feminine, and again, this won't be for everyone, but for you, this was actually your own inner karmic pattern. It was, okay, so this message will only be for a group of people, but for whoever is connecting with this is the message here. if you had a situation where your divine masculine physically was showing up inauthentically within your 3D life experience, whether this was a form of lying or some kind of deceit or a denial, a self-deceit on the part of this masculine, some kind of confusion coming from a space of inauthenticity, I'm getting that for many divine feminines, the way in which this energy dynamic was mirrored, because we do mirror one another's energy, is that there was this karmic pattern within this divine feminine of denying her intuition, denying her own inner voice for the purpose of, with sacral chakra in the reverse position, it's like for the purpose of keeping someone closer in her life or preventing a separation, or really better than the word separation, preventing an abandonment, because there was this fear of being abandoned, of losing someone or something that she loves, or not having that love requited or returned, because there was this weaker, I should say, sense of self-empowerment, self-validation, self-confidence, and therefore this desperation, of course, because she needed this external source of validation and confidence by proxy. This, again, going back to needing that permission to really support and show up for herself, that could have even come from her divine masculine, but if not from the masculine, it was coming from some other external source, place, or person. But whoever this is for, and again, only take these specific messages, especially if they connect with you, because I don't feel these messages are for everyone, but someone here is really shifting the balance, because what is happening is this divine feminine has gone through, again, this throat chakra activation in connection with the continued opening of her third eye, and this balancing between the throat chakra and the third eye chakra, this opening of the intuition and ability to see things clearly, is now causing her to have this raised standard around everything in her life, around specifically how people interact with her and show up for her in her life. There is this lack of tolerance for connections in her life that fall short of openness, transparency, and authenticity. And of course, this carries over into her connection with the divine masculine as well. But this is also necessitated for her a healing of this fear of abandonment with sacral chakra reversed, that is actually shifting into, through integrating her inner masculine, this is shifting her into a place of going full circle again to that self-empowerment, that providing of self-support for her own dreams and passions, or simply for her own self, nurturing herself, caring for herself, giving herself permission to give to herself what she needs and what she desires, rather than feeling as though she isn't worthy of that, feeling as though she needs someone to unconsciously kind of give her permission to have what she desires or what she needs. There is just this increased worthiness and feeling of deservingness that is truly, truly beautiful for this divine feminine. And again, this is really powerfully shifting the balance for your twin flame connection as well, because this second chakra card reversed, it's like I see divine feminine as you heal your fear of being abandoned. The masculine is actually responding to that sacral chakra shift, because I see in the past they may have restricted their sacral chakra energy by pulling back, by not wanting to open up emotionally or be vulnerable. And I see now this shifting where it's like, as you relax into this knowingness of your inner worthiness and this feeling of self-support, healing that abandonment wound, your masculine is now healing their own abandonment wounds that may have caused the opposite reaction within them. Instead of this kind of desperation, this pushing, this chasing, the masculine acted in the kind of opposite direction to their own abandonment wounds by potentially withdrawing or pulling away or shutting down. But again, you, Divine Feminine, are really leading the way in healing this wound. And this is catalyzing your masculine's healing as well by calling them into their own powerful energetic shifting and healing of themselves, and ultimately this awakening as well. So, wow, very powerful messages coming from the Divine Feminine. Now, I know that many of those messages were speaking more to kind of the energy level, the overarching level of what is going on here for this Divine Feminine, especially emotionally, energetically, in terms of her healing. But in the extended, we will be channeling more specific love and connection related messages from this Divine Feminine to her Divine Masculine, specifically with victory in the reverse position coming out as a kind of preview for the extended here. We will be speaking to both how she feels in the 3D about, I'm hearing how in some cases a connection seemed to be delayed or to fall through in the past, and how she is thinking about that in the present, but also how this could be shifting, moving into the future, what her soul knows about this, what her intuition knows about this beyond the reasoning or logic of the ego mind. So again, these more specific love and connection related messages from the Divine Feminine to the Divine Masculine will be in the extended, which is linked in the pinned comments and description box. Now, I do want to quickly read a little bit into the Divine Masculines. I was about to say Divine Masculine's energy, especially on the 5D or a higher self level, but the Thinking Man card in the reverse position just flew out of the deck before I could even set that intention. And this speaks to a releasing of the ego. I'm getting that someone might be seeing feathers as a kind of sign of confirmation here. You might be finding feathers as you are walking around in your daily experience, and this could be some sign of alignment from the universe. Now, anxiety came out in the upright position, and this is sitting a lot for the masculine on the throat chakra, and it's synchronistic because earlier I said that I was feeling a bit tongue-tied when I was trying to channel for the Divine Masculine, indicating that he might be feeling fears or anxieties around opening or deepening communication with the feminine in the physical world. So in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling what this Divine Masculine is feeling anxious about saying or communicating to the Divine Feminine, as well as further love messages from this masculine. Wow, okay, 2 amazing cards to reach us to kind of this end of the first reading here. Indecision in the upright position, sitting on the root chakra. I feel this masculine is feeling stuck in regards to his daily physical reality, which again could be playing into why he is participating in escapism at times, whether this is trying to numb himself from his daily reality or simply through daydreaming about the past with the Divine Feminine, potentially even the beginning of your meeting or connection, but also the future, what he so strongly desires but has no idea how to fully manifest or create with the Divine Feminine in the future of their connection. However, what I'm really feeling from this card is the masculine is being called to make some kind of a choice, or almost wanting to make some kind of a radical change or decision that will quickly shift or change his daily environment, reality, or relationship circumstances. And this decision is coming in connection to, of course, the final card in this reading, the Yin Yang card in the upright position. This is the number 1 twin flame card in the deck. And what I feel this masculine saying is, the more I realize the intensity and the truth of our deep soul bond to Divine Feminine, and And the more I feel myself through your integration, Divine Feminine, being called into my own continued awakening, conscious realization of our connection and my own inner integration, I'm being more and more called more and more profoundly to this point of decision where it's like I almost get this energy of I want to do something crazy, or I want to say something crazy, or I feel as though that's how a masculine would word how they're feeling. It's like wanting to do something radical or drastic that would quickly change their daily reality, pull them out of this feeling of being so stuck in their physical day-to-day life and the absence or the feeling of being disconnected from the Divine Feminine, to really make that change, to reach toward that so-called impossible dream of union or deeper connection with the feminine counterpart. So again, in the extended, we will be channeling deeper into these messages, getting love messages from both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, as well as answering some of the questions that came up earlier in the reading. So the link to the extended is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. Otherwise, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what, if any, of these messages connected with you personally today. Do keep in mind that I channel many different twin flame connections through these readings, so always use your own intuition above all else. Only take what resonates in your heart and soul and leave the rest. I really hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for being such a powerful co-creator here as parts of this high vibrational community we are creating through this space on YouTube. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and weekend, and I will talk to you again in the next reading.